On SNG Daily, we'll talk about the protests in Georgia and arrests at Columbia University. But first, let's talk about Canada. That's Canada's main opposition leader, Pierre Poilievre, who was then evicted from the Canadian Parliament for refusing to withdraw his comment. This is what happened when he called Justin Trudeau a wacko. The speaker asked him to withdraw his comment 4 times. Poilievre instead said he would replace wacko with extremist and then radical. The leader of the opposition from the Conservative Party was criticizing what he called Trudeau's refusal to crack down on drug overdose. The speaker wasn't impressed and instead asked him to leave the House, a decision that saw most lawmakers from the opposition leave as well. Security forces used tear gas, stun grenades and water cannons to disperse protesters agitating outside the parliament in Georgia. This marks a major escalation in the government's crackdown after the debate on the Foreign Agents Bill that the opposition views as authoritarian and inspired by Russia. Leader of Georgia's largest opposition party, the United National Movement, Levan Kabeshvili, posted this photo of himself on social media. The bill is not yet law, but it proposes that organizations that get more than 20% of funding from abroad should register themselves as foreign agents. Now, many of Georgia's critics who have labeled it the Russian law have said the bill is similar to what Moscow put in place to silence dissent. Parliament is currently controlled by the ruling Georgian Dream Party. The protests have continued from April 17, where anti-government agitators have shut down central streets in Tbilisi every night to protest against the bill. New York police raided Columbia University and arrested dozens of pro-Palestinian students who have been protesting against Israel's war in Gaza. Some of these students had also taken control of an academic building. The Ivy League school has also sought police's help to dismantle an encampment for 2 weeks. A police spokesperson said the campus was cleared within 3 hours. Many of the detained students boarded NYPD buses with their hands bound behind their back by zip ties.
Support for students and concern for how the administration is willing to arrest and bring police onto campus, which is supposed to be a safe space for students.
Columbia University President Minu Shafiq released a letter soon after the NYPD raid and requested police to stay on campus till May 17. That's 2 days after the scheduled graduation ceremony. Donald Trump was slapped with a $9,000 fine for contempt of court in the hush money trial he's facing in New York. The judge has also warned him that if he continued to shoot off his mouth, he may even face a jail term. The judge imposed the gag order on Trump to stop him from criticizing witnesses and others in the trial. Trump has been fined 1,000 USDs for each of the 9 violations identified by the prosecution, which ranged from him calling his former lawyer a serial liar to calling the trial rigged on his social media platform. The judge has asked him to remove all the posts from his social media platform, which is called Truth Social, that violate the gag order. Trump has called the gag order unconstitutional.
This gag order is not only unique, it's totally unconstitutional. I'm the Republican candidate for President of the United States. I received this honor in record time. Nobody's ever gone faster. It's never happened. Nobody's ever got the numbers that we got. And I'm sitting in a courthouse all day long listening to this stuff. And everybody knows, as far as everybody is concerned, if you read the great legal scholars and experts, everybody said this is a trial that is nonsense. It should have never been brought this.
After his visits to Riyadh and Amman this week, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel. This is the top US diplomat's 7th visit to the Middle East after the October 7 attacks and is expected to focus on more aid for Gaza as well as working out a hostage negotiation deal. While Netanyahu has been determined to go ahead with his all-out ground assault in Gaza, President Biden, in last month's phone call, had reminded him that Washington's policy could shift if Israel fails to take steps to address civilian harm, humanitarian suffering, and safety of aid workers.
We're determined to get a ceasefire that brings the hostages home. We also have to be focused on people in Gaza who are suffering in this crossfire Hamas is making.
For more such videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like button and follow for more news updates.